Have you ever been so overwhelmed with anger that it felt impossible to control, especially when someone's words or actions deeply hurt you? Have there been moments when even a passing glance or a careless comment felt like a personal attack, making you question why the world seems so unkind? In today's fast-paced and high-pressure world, it's all too easy to get caught up in waves of frustration, hurt, or even outright rage. From minor irritations to intense emotional storms, these feelings can take hold of us before we even realize it. But here's a vital question. Is it possible to preserve your peace no matter what life throws at you? Can you build a calm, unshakable inner strength that keeps you grounded, no matter how chaotic things get? The answer lies in Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that is as relevant today as it was centuries ago. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca faced extraordinary hardships, from war and exile to political turmoil, yet they cultivated an inner tranquility that allowed them to thrive. Their teachings offer timeless wisdom for mastering emotions and taking control of your inner world. By adopting these principles, you can rise above life's challenges and protect your sense of peace and purpose. Today, we'll explore 7 practical methods inspired by Stoicism. These techniques are not just abstract ideas, they are actionable steps that you can begin to apply immediately. Even incorporating just one of these methods into your life can bring remarkable changes, helping you navigate daily challenges with resilience and clarity. Let's dive into this journey together and discover how you can reclaim control over your emotions and live a life of calm, strength, and balance. Let go of judging others. Have you ever stopped to consider why anger or irritation often flares up so easily in your interactions with others? A key reason lies in our tendency to judge. How many times a day do you think that person is so annoying or they can't be trusted? These judgments don't just impact others, they weigh heavily on your own emotional well-being. In Stoicism, letting go of judgment is a powerful way to free yourself from the negative emotions that stem from anger and frustration. We all view the world through our own unique perspectives. When someone behaves in a way that doesn't align with our expectations, we're quick to label them. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, your immediate reaction might be, "They're such a terrible driver." But have you ever paused to consider they might be rushing to an emergency or are simply lost and confused? The events themselves don't cause your emotions, your interpretation of them does. Judging others only adds unnecessary emotional strain to your life. Judgment is often the root of anger. Imagine you have a neighbor who often plays loud music late at night. If you assume they're inconsiderate or rude, your frustration builds each time it happens. But what if you discovered they're struggling with loneliness or trying to celebrate a small victory in their life? By shifting your perspective and letting go of harsh judgments, you protect yourself from unnecessary negativity. This doesn't mean you excuse their actions, but it allows you to approach the situation with calm rather than resentment. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or trouble your soul about things you can't control." People are rarely wholly good or bad. Their actions are shaped by circumstances you may never see. Think about a time when you didn't act your best. Maybe you were tired, overwhelmed, or stressed. Just as your actions were a product of your situation, so are theirs. Imagine sitting at a coffee shop and the barista accidentally spills your drink. Your first reaction might be annoyance or anger, how careless. But if you pause and consider they might be having a tough day or juggling multiple tasks, your irritation starts to melt away. Releasing judgment in moments like this doesn't just lighten your emotional load, it fosters empathy and connection. Letting go of judgment isn't about condoning bad behavior. It's about refusing to let others' actions dictate your emotions. You can still recognize what's right or wrong without allowing negativity to consume your mind. As Marcus Aurelius also said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." True strength lies in responding to harm not with anger but with composure and dignity. How can we practice non-judgment? Start by becoming aware of your thoughts. When you catch yourself judging someone, ask, "Is this thought necessary? Is it helping me?" Then, try to shift your perspective, put yourself in their shoes, and consider what challenges they might be facing. Finally, remind yourself that everyone's different, and those differences add richness to life. Someone being unlike you doesn't make them wrong, nor is it worth your emotional energy to dwell on it. Releasing judgment is about setting yourself free. The next time someone frustrates you, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this feeling worth it? You'll find that approaching situations with empathy and understanding not only makes you kinder to others, but also to yourself. In the end, you have to decide, do you want to hold on to anger, or do you want to live a life of freedom and peace? The choice is always yours. Embrace the power of detachment. One of the most liberating lessons in life is learning to detach, not from responsibility or love, but from the need to control outcomes and cling to possessions, relationships, or circumstances. Detachment, as taught by Stoicism, isn't about indifference. It's about understanding that while we can influence the world around us, we cannot fully control it. By letting go of this need, we free ourselves from the fear of loss, disappointment, and unnecessary suffering. Epictetus put it succinctly, you are disturbed not by things, but by your view of them. Often, the pain we feel comes not from what happens, but from our inability to let go of how we think things should be. For instance, imagine losing a prized possession, a cherished heirloom, or an expensive gadget. While it's natural to feel upset, clinging to that loss with thoughts like, I can't believe this happened, I'll never replace it, only deepens the pain. Instead, detachment invites you to reflect. This object served its purpose while I had it, and now I must move forward without it. Detachment is especially powerful in relationships. While love and connection are essential to a fulfilling life, trying to control the actions, feelings, or choices of others only leads to frustration. Imagine a parent who tirelessly tries to dictate every decision their grown child makes. Their intentions may be rooted in love, but the need to control creates tension and resentment. Detachment here means recognizing that while you can guide and support others, their journey is ultimately their own. Detachment also applies to how we handle success and failure. Many people tie their self-worth to external achievements, career milestones, material wealth, or social recognition. But as Marcus Aurelius reminded us, what we do now echoes in eternity. Our actions matter, but they are not the sum total of who we are. Detaching from the need for validation allows us to pursue our goals with focus and passion, unburdened by fear of failure or the pressure to prove ourselves to others. To practice detachment, start by identifying areas in your life where you feel overly attached. It could be a relationship, a possession, or even an expectation of how life should unfold. Ask yourself, why am I holding on so tightly? Is this attachment serving me, or is it causing me stress? Meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating detachment. Spend a few moments each day reflecting on the impermanence of life. Visualize the things you cherish, your home, your job, your relationships, and imagine what life would be like without them. This isn't a pessimistic exercise, but a way to deepen your appreciation for what you have while preparing yourself for the inevitable changes life brings. Detachment doesn't mean withdrawing from life or becoming emotionless. It means engaging fully with the present while understanding that nothing is permanent. Seneca wisely said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. By detaching from our imagined fears, we gain the strength to face life's challenges with resilience and grace. Consider the story of a man who worked tirelessly to build his business. For years, he poured his heart and soul into it, but an unforeseen economic downturn forced him to close. Initially, he was devastated, clinging to what could have been. But over time, he embraced detachment, viewing the experience not as a failure but as a chapter that had run its course. This mindset freed him to explore new opportunities, eventually leading to greater fulfillment than he could have imagined. Detachment allows us to live fully and freely, unburdened by the fear of losing what we hold dear. It helps us appreciate life's fleeting moments without trying to possess them. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to too tightly? How can I embrace life's uncertainties with openness and trust? By letting go of the need to control and embracing the power of detachment, you create space for peace, resilience, and a deeper appreciation of life as it is. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, receive without pride, let go without attachment. By living with this mindset, you'll find that true freedom lies not in holding on, but in gracefully letting go. Embrace the power of letting go. When we stop judging others, we often uncover a deeper truth. Much of our frustration stems from the desire to control what lies outside our reach. We expect others to behave in ways that align with our desires, but the reality is that people act according to their own reasons, shaped by their unique circumstances and perspectives. This raises an important question. Do we truly need to control everything to find peace? Or does peace come from the ability to let go? At the heart of Stoicism is this principle. Instead of wasting energy on what you cannot control, learn to accept it and free yourself from unnecessary burdens. While you can't dictate the events of life, you can always choose how you respond to them. Imagine you're stuck in traffic during rush hour, cars are crawling, horns are blaring, and you're running late. Frustration rises as you wonder, why can't people drive better? Why is traffic always like this? But the reality is you can't change the behavior of other drivers or clear the road ahead. What you can change is your reaction. You can choose to let anger consume you, or you can take a deep breath and accept that some things are simply beyond your control. This shift in mindset may sound simple, but it can be life-changing. Take, for instance, a parent who constantly worries about their child's success. While they can provide guidance, they can't take their child's tests or guarantee their achievements. Similarly, an employee frustrated by a boss's unreasonable decisions has no power to change their boss's thoughts or actions. Negative emotions often arise when we place high expectations on things outside our influence. When reality doesn't align with those expectations, disappointment and resentment follow. I once knew an entrepreneur who spent years developing a groundbreaking product. When it launched, market feedback was underwhelming, and he grew bitter, blaming customers for not understanding its value and competitors for sabotaging his efforts. His frustration trapped him in a cycle of negativity and inaction. During a conversation, I suggested he focus on what he could control, refining his product and strategy instead of dwelling on external factors. By shifting his energy, he found clarity, improved his approach, and eventually achieved greater success than he had initially imagined. Stoicism teaches us to pause during stressful moments and ask, is this within my control? Am I wasting energy on something unchangeable? Is my reaction helping or hurting the situation? These simple questions can break the cycle of negativity and redirect your focus to what truly matters. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It's about concentrating on what you can influence: your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Imagine rowing a boat down a river. You can't stop the current, but you can steer your boat to navigate the flow. This mindset is not about surrender but empowerment. One practical Stoic exercise is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Before starting your day, take a moment to consider what could go wrong: canceled plans, misunderstandings, mistakes at work, or bad weather. By anticipating these possibilities, you prepare yourself to face them with calm acceptance rather than frustration or surprise. Ultimately, letting go of control is not a sign of weakness but a profound act of liberation. When you stop clinging to what is beyond your grasp, whether it's the opinions of others, the past, or the uncontrollable forces of life, you'll find an extraordinary sense of peace. Start small. The next time you face a challenge, resist the urge to fixate on what's out of your hands. Life flows like a river, and when you learn to navigate its currents instead of fighting against them, you'll discover the peace you've been seeking all along. Cultivate calm by accepting life as it is. One of the most effective ways to achieve inner peace is to embrace life's challenges with acceptance and grace. This doesn't mean you have to agree with every situation or enjoy every difficulty, but it does mean learning to face life without resistance. As the philosopher Epictetus wisely said, it is not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. By shifting your mindset, you can free yourself from the endless cycle of frustration and anger. Consider a routine moment, like folding laundry. If you approach it with annoyance, It feels like an endless chore. But if you shift your mindset to one of acceptance, even finding gratitude for the clothes that serve you, the task becomes lighter. This isn't just about the laundry, it's about how we respond to the small, unavoidable aspects of life. Now think about something more stressful, like waiting in a long line at the grocery store. You could spend the time feeling irritated and counting every second, or you could use the opportunity to breathe deeply, people watch, or even strike up a kind conversation with a fellow shopper. By choosing how you respond, you reclaim your peace regardless of the situation. This principle of acceptance also applies to the way we approach our goals. Too often we chase after material success or fleeting pleasures, only to find ourselves empty once we achieve them. Instead, think about your deeper purpose in life. What legacy do you want to leave behind? What values matter most to you? When you align your actions with this broader vision, even the challenges along the way feel meaningful and worthwhile. It's also important to recognize the power of choice in how we engage with life. Tasks that feel like obligations often weigh us down, but when we reframe them as voluntary acts, they take on new meaning. For example, attending a family event might feel like a burden if you think of it as something you have to do, but when you shift your perspective to "I choose to spend time with my loved ones," it becomes an act of love and connection. When faced with difficult people or hurtful comments, remember that their behavior is a reflection of them, not you. Instead of reacting with anger or letting their negativity affect you, remind yourself, I can't control their actions, but I can control my response. This mindset not only protects your peace, but also builds emotional resilience. Accepting life as it is doesn't mean giving up on growth or change. It means focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. For example, if you're dealing with a setback in your personal or professional life, view it as a chance to learn and improve, rather than dwelling on disappointment. This journey toward acceptance takes time, but the rewards are immense. Start with small steps, approach daily inconveniences with patience, practice gratitude for what you have, and remind yourself that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Over time, you'll build a steady inner calm that allows you to face life's ups and downs with confidence and grace, freeing you from unnecessary stress and helping you create a life of lasting peace. Embrace the beauty of imperfection. In life, moments of frustration or anger often arise when people don't meet our expectations. But have you ever paused to ask yourself why you expect perfection from others or the world around you? Stoicism teaches us that the pursuit of perfection is an illusion, and clinging to this illusion is the root of much of our suffering. Recognizing that imperfection is an inherent part of life is the first step toward freeing yourself from the emotional weight caused by unrealistic expectations. Think about it. Have you ever been disappointed when a coworker didn't complete their part of a project, creating setbacks for you? Or felt hurt when a friend broke a promise, or a loved one said something unkind? These situations are universal, yet is it fair or even realistic to expect perfection from others? As Epictetus reminds us, it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. It's not the actions of others that cause our frustration, but our interpretation of those actions. Consider a specific example. Imagine you've worked hard preparing for an important meeting, but a colleague responsible for materials makes a mistake that threatens to derail your effort. Frustration is a natural response, and your first thought might be, why didn't they take this as seriously as I did? But from a Stoic perspective, their error is beyond your control. Dwelling on their imperfection only magnifies your frustration. Instead, you can ask yourself, what can I do to address this and move forward? Accepting imperfection allows you to focus on solutions rather than getting stuck in blame or anger. Marcus Aurelius offered a practical approach. Begin each day by telling yourself, today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. This isn't pessimism. It's a realistic mindset that prepares you to navigate life's challenges with resilience. When you anticipate imperfection, you're better equipped to handle it calmly when it arises. In everyday life, embracing imperfection can completely transform your reactions. When someone breaks a promise, instead of reacting with anger, remind yourself that they're human and may be dealing with struggles you can't see. If you feel misunderstood, pause and seek clarity instead of jumping to conclusions. Often, people don't intend to hurt you, they may simply not understand your perspective. And when faced with criticism or rudeness, ask yourself, does this truly harm me? Or is my interpretation making me feel hurt? Accepting imperfection doesn't mean giving up on self-improvement or growth. On the contrary, it liberates you. When you stop demanding that others act in ways that align with your expectations, you free yourself from constant disappointment. This shift allows you to focus on what truly matters and engage with others from a place of empathy and understanding. For example, in relationships, we often expect our partner to perfectly understand our needs and emotions. Yet even those who love us deeply can't always read our minds. Instead of feeling let down, consider asking yourself, can I communicate more clearly? This approach not only reduces dissatisfaction but fosters mutual understanding and strengthens your bond. When you learn to accept the world's imperfections, you'll begin to see its beauty. A mistake by a coworker, a thoughtless comment from a friend, or even a rude stranger becomes an opportunity to practice patience and compassion. Ask yourself, have I ever made mistakes? If I want forgiveness from others, why can't I extend the same to them? This perspective reminds us that everyone, including ourselves, is doing the best they can with what they have. As Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." The courage to face imperfection both in ourselves and others is not just a sign of compassion, but a path to inner freedom. Life doesn't have to be flawless for us to find happiness. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By changing how you perceive imperfection, you can find peace amidst the inevitable chaos of life. This isn't about settling or compromising. It's about mastering the art of living. When you let go of the demand for perfection, you free yourself from the burden of anger and frustration. And in that freedom, you'll discover a deeper joy and resilience than you ever thought possible. Take ownership of your emotions. When we learn to accept the imperfections of the world, we open a powerful door, one that leads inward, to ourselves. The world may be unpredictable, people may disappoint us, and plans may go awry. But must these realities rob us of our peace? Accepting external chaos is a step forward, but the real challenge lies in mastering our emotions when confronted with what we cannot control. This raises an essential question: who is truly responsible for your emotions, you, or the external circumstances around you? Stoicism invites us to confront this truth and reclaim our emotional independence. Imagine you're standing in a crowded grocery store line on a hectic weekend. The line is long and tensions are high. Suddenly, someone cuts in front of you without acknowledgement or apology. Irritation surges, you feel slighted and disrespected. The instinctive response might be to grumble, lash out, or carry that resentment throughout the day. But there's another option. You can pause and ask yourself, is that person's behavior worth sacrificing my peace? They may have acted rudely, but your emotions are yours. Why should you let their actions dictate how you feel? By choosing calmness, something remarkable happens. The irritation subsides. The person may remain unaware of their rudeness, but their behavior no longer has power over you. The cue might take a few extra minutes, but your inner peace remains untouched. Instead of letting a minor incident cascade into a day of negativity, you've turned it into just another moment that quickly passes. In our daily lives, we often hand over control of our emotions to others without realizing it. When someone insults, criticizes, or ignores you, the natural reaction is to feel hurt, angry, or rejected. But ask yourself, why should another person's words or actions dictate my mood? Marcus Aurelius, the Roman philosopher emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His words remind us of a liberating truth. While we cannot control others, we can always choose how we respond to them. Think back to a time when you faced unfair criticism, perhaps at work. Anger or frustration may have seemed unavoidable. But what if you reminded yourself that your worth isn't defined by others' opinions? By reframing your response, you could free yourself from the grip of their words, preserving both your dignity and your peace of mind. How do we cultivate this ability to manage our emotions? Start with the power of pause. When faced with a triggering situation, take a moment to ask yourself, am I overreacting? Is this worth my peace? That brief pause creates space between the event and your response, allowing you to choose calm over chaos. Another effective strategy is keeping a journal of your emotions, a practice deeply rooted in Stoicism. Each evening, take a few minutes to reflect on the day. What upset you? How did you react? Could you have responded differently? Over time, this habit will help you identify emotional patterns and build the discipline to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Taking responsibility for your emotions is the cornerstone of a tranquil life. No one can make you angry or upset unless you allow it. As Marcus Aurelius also said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. His words remind us that our emotions are our own possession, not someone else's. Protecting your peace is one of the greatest acts of self-care you can practice. When you take ownership of your feelings, external circumstances lose their power to disturb your spirit. Master the art of non-reaction. Life is full of unexpected moments that can catch us off guard. A colleague openly criticizes you in a meeting. A stranger cuts in line after you've been waiting patiently, or someone hurls a sharp remark your way, leaving you offended. These incidents, though seemingly small, can disrupt your mood and stir up anger and frustration. But is there a way to rise above such negativity and maintain composure no matter what? The answer lies in practicing the art of non-reaction. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This simple truth reveals that your emotions don't come from the actions of others, but from how you interpret and respond to those actions. Imagine being publicly criticized during a meeting. Your initial reaction might be embarrassment or anger, feeling the urge to defend yourself or retaliate. But what if, instead of reacting impulsively, you paused and asked yourself, why should I let someone else's words control my feelings? Their behavior doesn't define your worth or capabilities, it only reflects their mindset in that moment. By choosing not to react, you protect your inner peace and maintain control over the situation. For example, instead of snapping back, you could calmly respond, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll address that after presenting my ideas." This composed approach disarms the other person while preserving your dignity and professionalism. What could have been a heated exchange instead becomes an opportunity to demonstrate grace under pressure. Seneca wisely said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." One of the best ways to practice non-reaction is to give yourself time before responding to a provocation. When insulted, resist the impulse to react immediately. Take a deep breath, reflect, and allow yourself space to process. If a colleague sends a critical email, for instance, delay your response by an hour or even a day. This pause allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally, ensuring your words reflect clarity rather than anger. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. Choosing silence over retaliation not only safeguards your peace but also prevents others from controlling your emotions. As the old saying goes, if a donkey kicks you and you kick back, you are both donkeys. Reacting to negativity with negativity lowers you to the same level as the instigator. Silence, on the other hand, is a sign of inner strength, the power to rise above the need for immediate retaliation. Consider a heated argument where every response fuels the fire of anger. If one person suddenly stops engaging, the flames inevitably die down. The one who chooses silence emerges as the true victor, having preserved their peace of mind and mastered their emotions. Reflect on your own experiences. When was the last time you lost your temper over something trivial? Was that anger worth sacrificing your tranquility? If you could go back, how would you handle it differently? Marcus Aurelius offered timeless advice. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Recognizing that you control your reactions empowers you to navigate life's challenges with greater ease. Non-reaction doesn't mean passively accepting everything. It means discerning what truly deserves your attention and energy. It's about choosing calmness over chaos and silence over conflict. By practicing non-reaction, you not only master your emotions but also protect the peace within your soul. Remind yourself daily that while you can't control the actions of others, you can always control your response. Calmness, silence, and an unshaken heart are your most powerful tools in a chaotic world. This is the essence of Stoicism, choosing to rise above, preserve your peace, and move through life with clarity and grace. Does this perspective resonate with you? If it does, I'd love to hear your reflections or personal stories. It's inspiring to learn how others approach the challenges of mastering their emotions. If you hold a different viewpoint, don't hesitate to share it. Let's explore these ideas together and strengthen our understanding as we grow on this journey toward inner peace and emotional resilience. Discover joy in selflessness. As we cultivate calm and resist reacting hastily to life's challenges, we find our hearts growing lighter. The frustrations that once consumed us become mere ripples in the vast river of life. And in this newfound stillness, a beautiful space emerges, a space for love, empathy, and generosity. Within this transformation lies a profound joy, the realization that forgiving others and extending kindness is not just an act of grace but a gift to ourselves. When we release resentment, we protect our inner peace and open ourselves to a life of deeper connection and meaning. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to they." His words remind us to see each day as a chance to embrace life's blessings and to love and help others with an open heart. Forgiveness in this light is not a distant ideal but a simple and profound way to enrich our lives. Helping others, even in small ways, brings joy not only to them but also to ourselves. I recall a story about a friend working in a high-pressure office environment. He often faced criticism, sometimes unfairly, from a particularly outspoken colleague. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, he chose to pause and reflect. He asked himself, could they be struggling with something I don't know about? Eventually, he learned that this colleague was facing severe financial difficulties. Armed with this understanding, he responded with patience, listened more carefully, and even offered support where he could. The result? Their relationship improved significantly, and the workplace became less tense for everyone involved. In family dynamics, minor disagreements can quickly spiral into major conflicts. Imagine having a relative who constantly criticizes you. Their words may sting deeply, but often such behavior stems from their own insecurities or struggles, not from you. Understanding this helps you see their actions in a different light, making it easier to choose forgiveness over anger. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means refusing to let it dominate your emotions or control your peace of mind. Anger often arises from unmet expectations. We expect others to act in ways we deem appropriate or fair, but the world is imperfect, and every person carries unseen burdens. By recognizing this truth, we can dissolve unrealistic expectations, leaving anger without a foothold. When you let go of expectations, you make room for understanding and compassion. Forgiveness is not just a way to overcome anger, it's a path to genuine joy and liberation. Think about a time when you helped someone without expecting anything in return. How did it feel? Likely, it brought a sense of peace and fulfillment that no material reward could match. Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Practicing forgiveness is a way to reclaim control over your emotions, achieving a spiritual freedom that no external circumstance can take away. Modern research reinforces this ancient wisdom. People who practice regular acts of kindness and selflessness report greater happiness and well-being. Stoic teachings, though centuries old, understood this universal truth. Forgiveness isn't just a virtue, it's a way to live a fuller, more meaningful life. To foster this mindset, ask yourself, can I see this situation from their perspective? What might be driving their behavior? Reflecting on these questions helps ease discomfort and builds understanding. When was the last time you forgave someone or showed kindness without expecting anything in return? How did it make you feel? Reflecting on such moments can guide you to make forgiveness and empathy daily practices. Forgiveness doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's as simple as showing patience with someone's mistakes or letting go of minor irritations. Instead of trying to control what lies beyond your power, focus on bettering yourself. When you offer kindness, be grateful for the chance to do so. It enriches both your life and the lives of others. Seneca beautifully said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. No matter where life places you, there's always a chance to extend compassion. Choose forgiveness, not only for others, but also for yourself. In forgiving, understanding, and giving, you build a world filled with greater peace and joy. Forgiveness is not just an action, it's the key to living freely and fully." Cultivate gratitude for the present moment. In the pursuit of peace and fulfillment, one of the most powerful lessons we can learn is to appreciate the present moment. Life often pulls us in countless directions, worrying about the future, regretting the past, or chasing after goals we believe will bring happiness. But Stoicism teaches us that joy is not found in what we lack, nor in some distant destination, but in the here and now. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This reminder of life's impermanence isn't meant to instill fear, but to inspire gratitude for the time we have. By grounding ourselves in the present, we unlock the beauty and richness of life that so often goes unnoticed. Think about your own day-to-day experiences. How often do you find yourself rushing through tasks, focusing only on what's next? Perhaps you're already thinking about tomorrow's responsibilities while eating dinner with loved ones or scrolling through your phone instead of enjoying a quiet moment. The present slips away, unnoticed, in the rush to achieve or prepare for the next thing. But what if instead you pause to appreciate the warmth of the sun, the sound of laughter, or even the stillness of your own breath? Gratitude for the present doesn't mean ignoring challenges or dismissing ambitions. It means finding value in the life you're already living. Imagine being stuck in a traffic jam on your way home. You could spend the time feeling irritated and impatient. Or you could take a moment to appreciate the music on the radio, the safety of your car, or the fact that you're headed to a place you call home. By choosing gratitude, you transform a frustrating situation into a moment of peace. Practicing gratitude doesn't have to be grand or complicated. Begin by noticing the small joys in your daily life, the first sip of coffee in the morning, the kindness of a stranger, or the beauty of a sunset. Journaling is a powerful way to cultivate this mindset. Each evening, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. Over time, this practice trains your mind to focus on abundance rather than lack, shifting your perspective toward contentment. Gratitude also helps us build stronger connections with others. When you express genuine thanks to a friend, colleague, or family member, you strengthen bonds and foster goodwill. A simple thank you for being here for me can go a long way in deepening relationships. Even hardships offer opportunities for gratitude. As Epictetus said, difficulties show a person's character. Instead of resenting challenges, consider how they've shaped you, taught you resilience, or opened doors to unexpected opportunities. Gratitude in adversity is not about denying pain, but finding meaning within it. Gratitude reminds us to savor life as it unfolds, rather than constantly yearning for what's next. Seneca advised, begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. By embracing the present moment, you free yourself from the weight of the past and the uncertainties of the future. Ask yourself, what in my life right now brings me joy? What can I appreciate in this very moment? By reflecting on these questions regularly, you develop the habit of finding beauty in the present, no matter the circumstances. The practice of gratitude doesn't just enhance your own peace of mind, it has a ripple effect on those around you. When you live with an open heart, appreciative of life's gifts, you inspire others to do the same. So as you go about your day, take a moment to pause. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air on your skin, or the love of those around you. Cultivate gratitude for the present moment, and you'll find that peace and joy are not distant goals, but companions already within your reach. As we wrap up this journey through the timeless lessons of Stoicism, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered. From embracing imperfection to mastering non-reaction, and from finding joy in selflessness to cultivating gratitude, each lesson is a stepping stone toward a life of inner peace and resilience. Stoicism isn't about escaping life's challenges, it's about facing them with wisdom and strength. It's about recognizing what we can control and letting go of what we can't, freeing ourselves from unnecessary burdens. By applying these principles, we not only transform our own lives but also inspire those around us to live with greater clarity, compassion, and purpose. So what will you take away from this journey? Which lesson resonates most deeply with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you plan to apply these ideas to your life. And if this video inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join us on more journeys of self-discovery. Remember, the power to change your life lies within you. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. With every choice you make, you can move closer to the life you deserve, a life of balance, strength, and peace. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and keep finding the strength within.